Hello there. In this video, I want to talk about filters, how to use them, and why you definitely want to when you're working in the Troop Finances tracker. So, first of all, if you are not familiar with them, filters are these little green arrows. When you hover over them, they turn solid green. These are filters. They're in every heading here, in every and the way that we use that, when we click the down arrow, first of all, do not use the sort option. It's going to mess things up. Hopefully I can get it to where you can someday use that, but it gives you all the options. So why would you do that? Well, let's say, for example, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. Let's say I want to see all my check numbers. I don't want to see the deposits. So I'm going to click on the down arrow, and you can see every check number is listed one time. And then there's just, at the very end, there's just this dep. One time, I turn off, click on it to turn off that check mark, and then I say OK. And now all of the rows that are deposits are gone. They're hidden. They're not gone. They're just hidden. Like here, I go from 25 to row 32. There's a bunch of deposit rows in there, and they're hidden right now. So now I could look at my order, I could see if there's anything missing, I could see what I need to see. And then when I'm done, I click on the filter again, I choose this select all, and I choose OK, and everything is back again. Now, that was when we turned off one thing. You might want to see, though, in this case, I want to see everything that we have paid to Crystal. And now I could turn all of these off. Well, not this one, but that's a lot of things to turn off. So I'm going to use a shortcut and hit this clear option. That clears everything. And now it's easy to turn on Crystal, or I could even turn on 2 or 3 things. All right. So now if I look, there's 5 things that we paid to Crystal. Okay, so now I want everything back, so I click on select all and OK. All right, so one of the comments that is in the blank is in the reconciliation column. Let's say it comes time to reconcile with your bank statement. When you do that, the split is nice in that you can categorize everything properly, but when you're comparing this to your bank statement, you're not going to see these 3 numbers. And so it's just more numbers to look at. Let's get rid of some of these numbers. So I'm going to click on the reconcile. I don't want to see the split, and I don't even want to see the previously reconciled stuff. It's already been reconciled. I don't want to see it anymore. So I mark that, and now I have the cleared stuff, and I have the blanks, and then I can see what needs to be reconciled. Um, so that can be really useful. Now, if you want that on a regular, okay, let's see what else. There is one other way to do this as well. I'm going to select all and okay. So that was, so far we've done everything by values, by the values that are actually in the column. But let's say that I'm looking for a specific deposit that was sizable, okay? And I don't want to read through all 100 of my transactions to find it. So I know it was over $120, but I don't know the exact number. So what I'm going to do is filter by condition. So filter by condition, I'm going to click what my options are. For example, greater than or equal to, and then I'm going to type in here 120. Scroll down and click OK. And now you can see these are the items that are greater than 120. So get that back. I'm going to change this back to none and OK, and everything is back again. So those are just a couple ways to use the filters. Now, if you're wondering, where is this? How do I even use this? I want to use this in other things or whatever. When you look at your full menu, it's this little funnel-shaped button. So if I click on the funnel, now my arrows are gone. And honestly, I don't even know how to use a spreadsheet without filters. I don't know how that's possible. I would be so I want them, definitely want them on. I click on the funnel, not on the drop down, on the funnel. Okay, while we're at it, let's say one more thing about what's this drop down for? Filter view, what's that? Okay, remember how I said this reconciled? Or we could even say, you know what, maybe you reconcile, your bank statement always comes on the 25th. So my first time I'm going to reconcile, I want to filter by condition because I don't want to turn off all the stuff before that. I'm going to filter by condition, and I'm going to say the date is after, and I'm going to put in the exact date, and I'm going to put in 9/25. Okay, and then I'll scroll down and click OK. And now I have a whole bunch more, but let's say you were only in September, you wouldn't see much. Or you were in middle of October, you would see, well, you'd see all this stuff. And then you could go and do your reconciliation. Now, in October, you're going to need that again. You could also even go in there. Let's add this as well. Let's take out the splits because we don't want that when we're reconciling. So now we have it after a certain date and we have it, we have no splits. And now I don't want to have to do that every month when I reconcile. So I'm going to save this as a filter view. And it does this crazy thing. I'm going to click on the down arrow and I'm going to look at filter view options and I'm going to rename. I'm going to call this bank reconciliation. Okay, there we go. All right, so now if I don't want to see this big thing, if I want to see it normal, I just click on the down arrow and I choose none. And now I'm just back to, I'm even going to take this off. Okay, and I'm going to take this off and this back to none. All right, so I sit down, I've done September, now it's October. So I click on my bank reconciliation view. My filters are in there. I click on this one and I change this to October. Now I can do my reconciliation. And then when I'm done, I go back to none and I'm back to seeing everything. Pretty sweet, isn't it? I love it. So, and then that just keeps going. In November, I click in here. I change this to 11 and I go to town, start reconciling, and then turn it off when I'm done. So I hope that has inspired you. I hope that's shown you what is possible. I hope that has you excited about all the different things you can do. For example, you want to see, oh, I need to see a little bit of information about our fundraisers. So I'm going to turn on all of our fundraisers and nothing else. So it's a really great tool, and you definitely should use it. I hope that helps.